Welcome back, everyone, to another video. And I know I've done a tier list in the past, but today I'm going to be doing a new tier list. And I mean, first off, this isn't on here, but I'll just go start off by saying the first things I'll rank in this will be the Fortnite chapter as a whole. There's technically, I guess you could say, 6 chapters if you want to really get into that. I don't know how many people would count chapter OG as a separate thing or as with someone else, but either way, I'm going to be counting more or less separate. I mean, no point delaying this. Let me just get straight into it. First off, I'll say my favorite chapter of all time is between three, and I'll start with the third one first, which is going to be actually chapter 3. I absolutely loved Chapter 3, especially the first 2 seasons of it. I thought they were like the best Fortnite seasons they've had in a very long time. And I didn't realize how fun Fortnite could really be until after those seasons came out. And I was like, wow, this is fun. And I still think to this day that they had some of the best mechanics added in that they later got rid of. Main thing I'm going with is going to be the actual tornadoes and weather mechanics. I think that was amazing, and I really hope they add that back in the future because that was the most fun I've had in a while. And I really don't know why they got rid of it in the first place. Next up is actually going to be the current chapter, which is chapter 5. This chapter is really interesting because at first I was like, oh wow, this is a really good chapter. And as I played it, I was like, wow, this is an amazing chapter. And it really is just incredible, and they're only adding stuff to it. And I think that adding the new CEO of Fortnite really changed the game so much because Fortnite Festival has been one of my favorite things that came out, and I think it's absolutely amazing, and that they should definitely keep that in the game. Also, I feel like all the mythics they have added in have not been super overpowered at the same time not super underpowered. It is really a nice balance. The only thing I really don't like about the current season, even though I'm going to get it later, is just the modding benches. I wish they were better. But my favorite chapter of all time will actually be just chapter 1. I played since season 3, and man, chapter 4 and 5, outstanding. Just outstanding. Then the rest, it's kind of more or less just iffy. I don't know which one I prefer more than the other. Honestly, Chapter OG is probably my least favorite. Kind of a disappointment. But first, I'm going to just do this in the way it's ordered right down here. There's Chapter 1 to the current season. Or Season 1 to the current one. So, first one is going to be Chapter 1, Season 1. And honestly, everyone's going to be saying it's a terrific season and that it was one of the best. And this is going to be a very hot take out of all my things that I have here, which is perfect season would like to go back to. Amazing season but has small flaws. Standard season has a few flaws. Decent season has many flaws. Pretty bad but still has enough to play it, and never should have existed. And right off the bat, I'm going to put this one to never should have existed. It's going to piss a lot of people off, but it really should never have existed. It was just a make together of what they could run around. There was nothing of great importance. Uh, I don't think I would want to go back to that map at all. Not at all. So I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but I'll deal with it when it comes to it. Next up will be Chapter 1, Season 2. Honestly, I only can watch clips of it. I do wish I had some of the things from it, and I think I'm pretty sure I'm just going to put it in a decent season, but has many flaws. There's a lot of glitches, a lot of bad things about it, but overall, I think that it was a nice start to the actual game. So I can't be angry that they add all this crazy stuff because I think that's not fair. But at the same time, they did put a lot of effort in, and I think it's worth. I would like. I don't think I would rather go back to it, but I think it was a great season that they added. Next is Chapter 1, Season 3. This season, I'd still put it back in the same one. I think it's a decent season, but it still had so many flaws. I would not want to go back to it at all. Not at all. I don't think I would go back to it. I'd want the skins maybe, but even then, the only one I really want would be the Reaper skin. I'm fine not having it. So I think right there is a good place to have it. And then the next season on the list is Chapter 1, Season 4. And I think this season deserves to be a standard season that has a few flaws. I remember playing the season because it's the main season I played. I played very little Season 3. I played a lot of Season 4. It was super fun, but looking back on it, especially after Season OG, I understand a lot of the flaws of the season. And I think that is, at the time when it came out, it would definitely be the best season out there. But right now, I think it's a pretty standard season. I would love to go back to it, but it has a lot of flaws. I'm not denying it. I will not deny that. And then the next one's going to be Chapter 1, Season 5. And I think this season was one of, if not the most perfect season out there. I would not want to change a single thing about that season. They added the first real vehicles of the game, in my opinion. The golf carts. They added the wrists. They added a lot of new guns that were really great, like the P90. The skins were all top notch. I don't think there's a single skin in there that people are like, oh, it's bad, which is kind of rare. So I think that season is honestly the number one season for me. It is my favorite of all time. And I will stand by that. And the next season is Chapter 6. Or Season 6. I keep saying chapter. Honestly, it's an amazing season. But because of all the the invisibility glitches that I had, I think it has to go into standard season that has a few flaws. Because that was only out in the game for very little time. I remember using them very little. And when I used them, there were still glitches about it. I think that I don't want to put it at the tier below it because I do like the skins and I like the Halloween stuff. But at the same time, I don't think it could go above Season 4. Because I will have this in order too. I do think season... Actually, just speed right here. I think that's the order I like it. And then afterwards is the plain season. I think this season was absolutely amazing. I think that the trailer going into it, the Christmas items, I think that the skins, even the Infinity Blade, which a lot of players hate, I think it was all top notch. I think it deserves its place in an amazing season and above the rest. I think that a lot of people hate on that season because it was different, but I think that different in sometimes is the right direction. And next up is Season 8. And Season 8, honestly, is going to be in the exact same tier. I think it is above Season 7, because I think it had less glitches, but I still think it had a few flaws. It also added some of the best items too. The volcano, the Peely skin, treasure maps. Like, this season was so good. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think I would like to go back to it, but I don't think I want to put it there because there's some seasons I'm seeing on the list that I would put above it, and I don't want to have all of them up top, so I'm going to leave that there where it is. But this is really high on this list, almost on the other one. So next up is Season 10. Or Season 9, sorry, almost not Season 10 yet, Season 9. A lot of people really like this season, and I am one of them too. However, I'm looking at this, and I think I do like it a lot. It has some flaws. I think I like it more than Season 7, but I do not think I like it more than Season 8. I think that it was pretty good, but there's a lot of things, especially in this loading screen. There's the shotgun right there, the heavy shotgun. Everyone thought it was coming back, and I'm pretty sure they were originally going to do that. Plus, I think there's an SMG that was supposedly going to come in, and then they didn't. I think there's a lot of missed promises with that season, but I don't think it deserves to be hate on too much because it still added a great feature with the slipstreams. I think that's a proper place for it. And afterwards, it's going to be Season 10. Everyone hates this season for one word: mechs. I've never had a problem with mechs. I don't know if I just got lucky, I don't know if it's because I didn't really play a lot of solo where mechs were a huge problem, but I've never had a problem with the mechs. And after the nerfs, I thought they were a little easy to kill, but at the same time, I played a lot of squads, and it's a lot different in squads than in solos. I am very conflicted on this. I think I would put this on Amazing Season, would like to go back to. I don't think I'd rather go, I think I'd rather go to Season 5 and 10, but I do think that it's closer than a lot of people would think. I don't think it deserves to get a hate on as it does. And I think that's a proper place for it. It has basically one flaw, but the event is top notch. Next is the longest season ever to happen, Chapter 2, Season 1. It deserves to just be a decent season. I'd say above the other two, but it was too long. That's the biggest problem of it, just too long. It should have ended sooner. I don't hate anything majorly about it, but there were a few flaws in it, especially with the swimming mechanics. It was a really nice change of pace. I understand they took a break, but I don't think it deserves to be above. Nothing above it should be below it. And next is probably going to be to other absolutely amazing season, but the first season when they actually added mythics that were pretty balanced. And this is just going to go straight up there above Season 10. I don't think it's above Season 5. It is close, but this season was absolutely amazing. I would love to go back to it. I mean, I don't think a lot of people hate the season at all. It was like one of the first seasons where players were playing constantly, trying to get to highest level they could. I remember that the goal of that season was getting the level 300, so you could get that golden peely. A few people got it, but this season was absolutely top notch. I would love to go back to it. A lot more than Season 10, but not more than Season 5, I'd say. I think that's a proper place where it is. Afterwards is going to be Season 3. I think this season is an amazing season. I think I would put it above Season 9, but not above Season 8. That season had a lot of promises. I remember watching the most competitive I've ever watched during that season. And I remember that a lot of things happened with Apple, which caused them to not do as much as they wanted. But I still think that this season was top notch and deserves its place as super high up on there. And I don't think there's much I'd hate about it. Next will be another controversial season, I think. Chapter 2, Season 4. I personally kind of dislike this season. I don't like the idea of having a season that's entirely collab. And there's a few more like that. Coming up especially. But I can't lie, I did like a lot of things. They were super overpowered, and it was not so fun to play at some points. I think this will make a lot of people angry, but I'm going to put this on a standard season. Above the other two. I think we're just going to put that. But I don't think it deserves to be higher than any of the other seasons. I think that it's a pretty good season. The event was pretty good. But like I said, I do not like the idea of having the whole season just be a collab. I think that's not that good. One collab, which a lot of the next seasons have, are good. Just one skin that's a collab. But having the entire Battle Pass a collab, which it was, I did not like. And also, the personal grudge I have against a certain skin is the Doom skin with his built-in emote. I hate that you can't use it unless you win. I think that's the most dumb thing ever because it's one of the best emotes in the game, but no one ever uses it because you only can use it with that skin, and you only can use it if you win. I really hope one day they go back and change that, but I don't think they will, and it's just a personal thing. Next will be just season collab. That is the best way to say it. This season had so much going on with it. I have mixed feelings about it. I like it and hate it at the same time. I think the sand features were great, but I also think that they're kind of rushing a lot of things, and I wish they didn't add so much. It's just a little weird one. These seasons I would put into, I think I'd put it below Season 6. Yeah. I think I put below Season 6, but I think it'd still be a standard season by many accounts. I think that there's... I think that's a great place. I think it was a good season to play, and I enjoyed it, but I also hate it at the same time. I would say it had many flaws. It didn't have major flaws. It just wasn't very enjoyable. Next will be the very weird and interesting season with the whole everything coming apart and the IO and all that like coming to fruition. I didn't really like it. I think it was a decent season, but I think it had a lot of flaws. And honestly, there wasn't much in there for me to actually want to play it. I think if I had to pick a season to go back to, it wouldn't be that, but I also wouldn't be super mad about going back to it at the same time. Next up will be, honestly, it has my favorite weapons ever. The alien guns are super fun and amazing. However, it was a pretty bad season, and I hate to say it, the event was kind of lackluster. A lot of things were bad about it. I kind of don't want to go back to the season at all. I think that where it is right now is a pretty good place for it, and I'm not angry at all about where it is. I think that deserves to be pretty bad, but still enough to play it. I wouldn't go back to it at all, but it's pretty fun to play while it lasted. The UFOs were fun. And the next one's going to be the exact same thing, but below it. I like the Q monsters. I like the Q weapons, but they did too little damage for me to actually want to pick them up half the time. And the skins were pretty good, I won't lie about that, but like the event especially kind of felt a little lackluster at the same time. So I think pretty bad, but enough to play. It was also where it belongs. They kind of messed up with the event of the last one too with the UFO. Nothing got destroyed where everything was supposed to be destroyed. It was really just T season, and it didn't come out good. Next will be, in my opinion, one of the best seasons to ever come out. And this season is going to be right now the top season. This season was absolutely goated. And I'm not even counting Spider-Man as part of it. You get rid of Spider-Man, add some other skin, it's still a goated season. Like, the skins were pretty good, nothing too proud to be about, but the map was amazing. I loved the map, it was so fun. The skins were great, the weapons were great. I don't think this one had an event, but like the snow slowly going down, and they originally going to get rid of all of it, then we said don't to, and they listened. Like, amazing. And they added weather too. Like, this season just had so much. And I remember after season 8, because this season just ended, I was like, man, I'd probably not play Fortnite that much. I'd probably switch to other game to play mostly. And then that season came out, and I started playing it a lot more because it was actually fun. And then same deal with this one, as this season was really good too. However, I am going to put that above season 10, but below chapter 2 season 2. It had a lot going for it, and I liked the idea of all the storyline and whatnot. It was pretty good, amazing, I love it. But at the same time, I can't put it above in good conscience any of the other seasons because it doesn't deserve to be there. It is a 10 out of 10 season though, just like all the rest on this list up top, I'd say. The only one that might not be a 10 out of 10 but a 9 out of 10 is season X, and that's pushing it. Next is Vibing, I think. Yeah, I think this is Vibing. Yeah, that's Vibing. Vibing, honestly, I have no hate and no disrespect for it at all. I put this above season 8. But I don't think that it deserves to be above season 10. I remember playing it, I'm like, oh yeah, having fun. Every match I had fun, but I also remember being like, it wouldn't be my go-to game to play. Versus all the ones above it would be my go-to game to play when it came out. So I think it belongs right there in amazing. And Chrome season. The Chrome season gets a lot of hate. A lot. Now, I'm going to put the very last of this one. But it has my favorite shotgun. I think the Chrome shotgun was my favorite thing ever. I love that shotgun, and I was really sad when they got rid of the shotgun because I was hoping to keep it in. I had so much fun playing that season, but I know everyone else hated it. And I do know that the event was kind of weird, and it didn't really fit in too well. I also feel like they kind of rushed a lot of things in it too, but it has small flaws, but it deserves to be up there in one of the top seasons ever. Next will be another controversial one. I think it's just a standard season. I think it's above the other ones, but I didn't want to play that season. Like, I don't think it's not I want. I just didn't have the need to play it. I played this season basically to get all the battle pass rewards, then a little extra to play with friends. But I wasn't feeling like, oh, this map is so amazing, let me play it. Because I honestly didn't really like the map that much. And every single update to this, I didn't like that much either. But that's a lot of personal issues with that. I didn't really care too much. In the next season, I have one small thing, and I'm going to put that again above the Crone season, but below the season 7. This season had one thing I absolutely hated, and that's the Mega City. They didn't make it right. I hate how there's only like 5 buildings you actually go into, then it was all bottom floor and nothing on the top. I understand they were trying to make it so that you didn't lag every game, but I wish it was more like Neo Tilted where you go in every building. I really wish it was a humongous city. I really do. I understand why they didn't do it, but that really ruined my thing for the game. But I do like the dirt bikes, I like the rails, I like, all the swords they added, like the mobility items. I think they were great. I would like to go back that season, but I don't think it's really too good in the grand scheme. And next is going to be a lot other season a lot of people hate. I love the vines, but I hate everything else, so I'm going to put that below actually chapter 1 or chapter 2 season 1, but above the chapter 1 season 3. It had enough for me to like kind of want to play it, but also at the same time it was kind of weird to play. I didn't really like it that much, to be perfectly honest. I think it was a little weird season to add. And the map change was like really weird position to add it. They added it in the center of the map. I would have not added it there. Because it basically no one landed at the center of the map anymore. Everyone was forced to land at the sides, but everyone came in the middle of the fight anyway, and there was bushes to hide. Really weird season. Didn't like it too much. Not a huge fan. Next will be probably the best of the 4 seasons that came out that year. I think I'll put it above season 9. But I don't think I'm going to put it above Chapter 2 Season 3. It was a pretty good season, a great finish season for the end. And it honestly was really fun to play. I like it a lot, but at the same time, I don't think it beats any of the other seasons. It's close to vibing, to be honest, but I'm looking at the list, and I don't think it beats the other 2 before vibing. I might move vibing down, but I don't think it's really complicated. They're all close, but this season was also a little annoying with all the players landing at the mythics to get it, and I feel like that was really mythic orientated, and I don't like that they made it like that. Next will be season OG. Honestly, don't think it should have existed. Nothing about me actually hating the season. I just don't think it was needed at all. I think they should have just kept on going with this season up top, chapter 4 season. I think it was season 4. I think they should have just kept that going longer. I don't think it was a need to add a season in between. I think they should just expand the time while they got chapter 5 ready. I did not like season OG at all. The map didn't feel the same. The loot pool didn't feel the same. Building didn't feel the same. Like, it just ruined a lot of OG vibes for me. And I knew going into that I wouldn't like it. So I'm very disappointed in that. But I will stand by that. I think it never should have existed. I will stand by that. Next will be the next 2. And I'm going to put these as one. They're both going to be, for separate reasons, in the perfect season. This one will be above Chapter 3 Season 2, but below Chapter 2 Season 2. It was an amazing season. They added some of the best things ever. I enjoyed this season so much. So much. It made me want to play the game, especially Fortnite Festival. I absolutely loved it. Now, this one is really close to these. This is some of my top 3. I am going to put this above Chapter 2 Season 2. It is amazing season right now. I love it. All the musics they added, absolutely amazing. The weapons they added were also pretty balanced. I can't be angry about it. The map is amazing. Like, I usually like the part where there's a lot of mountains in the middle and snow, and they didn't add it, and yet I still feel like it's a great map. I honestly think they're going in the right direction with this. I absolutely love it, and I think that this is probably the best tier list I can make. a lot of people hate the ones I put the low. I think some of them are pretty well balanced of why they should be there, but I put a lot of OGs at the bottom and people hate that. So I understand that, but at the same time, it's actually quite reasonable. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and post your comments on which seasons you would change, or you could just list the entire seasons again, like that. And I'll make sure to respond to your comments. Don't worry about that. I'll promise to respond. But if there's any other thing that you guys would like me to do, or a tier list, perhaps maybe a tier list about the weapons or skins. But if it was skins, it's probably gonna be an hour-long one. Emotes too, or something, or maybe just a map with the map changes, only by map changes, because this is all a whole. Then just comment down below and I'll do that. Anyway, please subscribe, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.